Good morning, friends. This morning I'm going to speak on a new topic. It is the employment contract, right? The offer letter that every employee receives from the management, and it's usually from the Human Resources Department. Now, currently I can tell you that the most important thing in the employment contract is all the terms and conditions that govern your employment with the company. Now, in many cases, I have seen it's actually a cut and paste, all right? And this is given out by Human Resources Department to new employees. Now, in some cases, you can see that the employer is actually a company dealing in cleaning services. However, the employment letter that is given to the employees are in a manufacturing environment. So the clauses might not be the same, all right, which you want to cover. And it is always a question that comes up that, did we have this clause in the employment contract? And then can we do an addendum and so forth? So I think basically the HR personnel should sit down and go through the employment contract. Now, employees for themselves, they only are interested in the first page, which is normally the position and the salary. All right, they do not read about even the probationary period, medical leave, sick leave, whatever, annual leave. Only when they come to such a stage, they will start looking at the employment letter. If not, the employment letter is just kept aside. And few HR personnel, they don't even explain before the acknowledgement is got from the employee on the copy of the employment contract. Now, it is very important that every HR personnel explains the entire, whether it is 2 pages or 5 pages or 6 pages, you explain every clause to the new employee before he or she signs the acknowledgement. It is very important, all right? And you must make them read through the whole thing, all right? So it would be advisable that if you can take some time, sit down and go through your employment contract and see if whether you have got all the clauses and benefits and so forth inside, and whether it is for your environment. If you are in a company that deals with motor cars, then you should have everything there regarding motor car, all right? Maybe, you can even include what happens if an accident happens. All that can be put inside. So later on, if something happens and it is referred to a third party for conciliatory meeting, at least the employee doesn't say that it was not stated here. So it is your creation, the employment contract, your creation. Form a team, sit down and go through the whole thing. I think it is time that we gave up this cut and paste, calling up a friend and say, have you got a copy of an employment contract? Can you pass it to me? And then you just take out only the logo of the company. The rest all is just followed, copied. Now, that can be very dangerous, all right? So, I think it is time to sit down and go through the employment contract, all right? Line by line. And make sure that it is specifically for your industry, your environment, all right? If it is a cleaning company, or that it has got to do with cleaning services to your clients. What happens if whilst cleaning, the employee slips and falls down, all right, and has a fracture? What will you do? What are they covered? How much medical will you take care? And so forth. Everything must be there, all right? That would be advisable, all right? I mean, this is my own personal view from experience, but actually the employment contract is the lifeline between an employer and an employee. Because if there is a strained relationship at the end, when you run to a third party, JTK, labor or industrial relations, the first thing that the officer will ask is, please bring me a copy of the employment contract. And they can go through and they will say, how come this clause was not covered? So I think this is a very important document. Please ensure that the HR department keeps all these copies hard copy, file and kept for you to refer in future. All right. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.